We're diving into a growing and sometimes concerning trend among teens, diagnosing themselves with disorders using information from social media.
From TikTok to Reddit, teens are spotting symptoms and sometimes confusing normal behavior with serious disorders.
Here to talk through this is counselor and early childhood mental health specialist Erin Trupp. So welcome. We're so glad that you're here to talk about this topic. And I know adults, myself, I'm guilty of this, turning to social media to diagnose myself. So teenagers, they're doing this more and more. Why would you say that this is happening?
So I think this is where the adolescents are. They're online, their peers are there. I think if we recognize that our children are talking to us about these things, they've already been online with it for a long time before they come to us. So it makes sense.
Well, so and if a teen or a preteen comes up to you and says, I think I have anxiety, I saw it on TikTok, what is the best response as a parent? Because I think we're always worried that we're not going to listen to them, that we're going to miss these signs that something is happening. But how do we address that topic?
So I'll give you a therapist trick. It's called Tell Me More.
Tell me more.
Tell me more. That's a good one.
Yeah.
You let them answer, essentially. You're kind of letting them explain why they think X, Y, and Z.
Yeah. Allowing them to talk about what made them search for that in the first place, and just being open to hear what they have to say is really helpful.
Yeah. And I would have to imagine that this is not all bad, because I would think that sometimes in the midst of something, or if it's something that you just really need an answer to because you have maybe a tragic situation going on and you don't have access to a counselor or to your parent or someone who can give you sound advice, turning to something like this, it may help. It could save someone's life.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I just love that we're having the conversation about it. It's bringing it to the forefront. There are some concerning parts about it. We do know that influencers online can be monetized, and of course those things that get monetization are sensationalized, so we might be sensationalizing some symptoms.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like we saw, especially coming out of the pandemic, and I know we're many years out of it now, but coming out of it, we started to see this growing trend of a rise in anxiety and depression among teenagers. And again, we don't want to not hear them and not treat and not listen. But at the same time, how do we know the difference between something that is maybe normal teen behavior, very tricky age group, and something that could be more serious?
Honestly, I would say check with a professional to make sure that that's certainly what's happening.
And is that okay too? Because I think that there's also this fear for parents that seeking out professional help and having their kid see a therapist might start them down this path that they think they're leaning into this belief that there's something wrong with them.
I don't think it's that there's something wrong with them. I think it's opening the conversation of how do we tap into those resources that we have. Use therapy as a tool.
Yes, right.
Use therapy as a tool.
Yeah, and as a parent, how do you make just the situation, the environment comfortable for your teenager to feel okay coming to you and maybe talking about some very difficult challenges that they're having?
I think it starts with having the families also talk about mental health daily as well. How are they feeling? And not only are you asking, but you're telling, right? Oh, today was a really rough day at work. I was having a hard time with that. This is how I took care of my mental health, or I feel like I need to take a walk. Right, just to get it out. So,
well, and we're in this age and era now of like brain rot videos and the spiraling. I feel like that can also lead in like pulling away from family and friends, losing some of that connection, and just spending too much time on social media can also kind of lead down to this path of anxiety and depression too.
Studies have certainly shown that. I mean, you mentioned the pandemic and how isolated everybody was, and how we did certainly see an increase in anxiety and depression. So being social is going to be huge.
Yeah, and going back to how families can have these conversations, and correct me wrong, Heather, I feel like you and I talked about this, but just sitting down over dinner time and just saying like, hey, what's one great thing that happened to you today? But also, what's one bad thing that happened to you today? I think that could really open up the door for conversations that might not be had otherwise.
Sharing the positive and the negative
is very important.
Yeah.
Good conversations, and especially timely too, because I think a lot of kids, hopefully, maybe not, I don't know, getting cell phones for Christmas. I don't know. Maybe that's it's not
Maybe.
it's not happening here.
All right, thank you so much. We're going to link you up to Erin on our website, kdka.com/talkpittsburgh. We'll be right back.